Good day everyone, I am Aisha Anya A. Ramos from BSTM 104 and today I will be presenting the Potipot Island in Zambales, Philippines. So the content of this presentation consists of 5 segments: the introduction, the positive and negative impacts of tourism in Potipot Island, my recommendation to improve the positive impacts of tourism in the island, solutions to the negative impacts of tourism in Potipot Island, and lastly, the conclusion. Potipot Island is a small but beautiful island located in Candelaria, Zambales, Philippines. The island is known for its crystal clear waters, white sandy beaches, and breathtaking views. However, since it is a relatively small privately owned island, its natural beauty remains undeveloped. In addition, the island's main attraction is its pristine white sand beach, which stretches for almost a kilometer. The crystal clear waters surrounding the island are perfect for swimming, snorkeling, and other water activities. Visitors can also rent a kayak or a stand-up paddleboard to explore the island's coastline. However, some of the reviews from the tourists determines the positive and negatives of this tourist destination. But before we get to that part, here is a short montage showcasing the beauty of the Potipot Island in Zambales, Philippines.
Let's not go down like this.
Now that we've seen what the island can offer, what could possibly be the positive and negative impacts of tourism in this destination? So moving on with the positive impacts of tourism in Potipot Island. The first positive impact of tourism in Potipot Island is the foreign exchange earnings. Since the island is pretty much not yet known by many, this is a great place for foreign tourists to go to. Hence, foreign exchange of currency is a great advantage of this island, where the more it is yet to be known, the more invested foreign tourists will come to the island, therefore resulting in a higher wages for both the local employees and the island itself. Secondly, generation of employment. This impact contributes to the growth of the employment of local residents in the island. Therefore, the more workers it has, the more growth it contributes to the economy. And lastly, contribution to the locals. Since generation of employment has been implemented by the impacts of tourism in Potipot Island, it then further supports the local residents and businesses in the island. Therefore, with all of these three combined, the economy as well as the destination benefits with one another. Positive impact of tourism in Potipot Island, socio-cultural. Creation of employment. Just like in the category of economy, through socio-cultural, the positive impact of this also creates jobs for diverse cultures inside the island to grow and thrive. Through the creation of employment, this allows the diverse cultures of the local residents to be known while also benefiting by teaching or showing their respective cultures in the island. Moving on with the last positive impact. Positive impact of tourism in Potipot Island, environment. First we have conservation of natural areas. This impact is a suitable and beneficial impact of tourism since the Potipot Island is privately owned. Next one is the improvement of environmental quality. This impact allows the destination to become more beautiful and further be improved through proper management and care. Lastly is the increased environmental awareness. This impact is essential to the maintenance of the Potipot Island since the environmental capacity is small and need proper management to be able to remain clean. Moving on to the next segment, here are the negative impacts of tourism in Potipot Island. So the first negative impact of tourism in Potipot Island is inflation. Just like any other destination, inflation will always somehow show up to any location in any given time. And unfortunately, Potipot Island is affected by inflation. To provide evidence, here is a review from a tourist that came to the island. They basically said that even though it is a nice island, it is a little expensive for those who are looking for an affordable trip. Another review proving the inflation inside the destination says that the accommodations such as the boat rentals are too expensive for a short distance travel. They also included that the entrance fee is too expensive as well as the overnight stay. Yet again, proving that inflation is a negative impact that exists in the Potipot Island. The next negative impact is overcrowding. In this review, it says that the island has a lot of potentials, but the island was packed with visitors. Tents were all over and there were a few cottages, but most of them are still under construction. Moving on to the last negative impact of tourism in the environment of the Potipot Island is the water disposal problems. To summarize this review, they basically said that the water on the island is much saltier than the other places that they've been to. Through this, we can assume that there is an ongoing water disposal problem in Potipot Island since it also contributes to the fact that there's an insufficient supply of water on the comfort rooms, which some tourists may have disposed their waste to the body of water inside the island. Or perhaps, the businesses may have done this as well to limit the expense of utilizing proper water management. The next one is land use problems. In this review, they're complaining about the areas that have been planted with new trees, yet it seems like it was not being taken care of due to the ongoing construction on the island. This becomes a problem since the management of the place are not implementing proper use of land, and further contributing to the last negative impact of tourism in this category, which is the ecological disruption. The ecological disruption in this review is that there used to be a prominent amount of starfishes in the island, yet has now disappeared because of the improper waste management and because there was no to limited attendees of the place that should have kept the island clean and its ecological resources safe. Due to this, there were a lot of regulations that violated the rules of the island, which unfortunately affected the ecological environment of the place. This review is just one of the many evidence of the incompetence of the destination managers as well as the bad habits of the tourists in terms of waste management. Now that we've tackled all the positive and negative impacts of tourism in the Potipot Island, here are my recommendations to further improve the listed positive impacts of tourism on Potipot Island. To further promote the economic growth of this destination, advertisement or promotional videos are recommended. This can be done by creating an advertisement via social media and promote it well enough for foreign tourists to be attracted to the destination to promote further the foreign currency exchange in the location. That way, it could be more exposed to newer visitors that might potentially come to the destination. Second is open job opportunities for locals. This means hiring more workers to improve the growth of local employees on the island. This way, more jobs will be present and an increase in incomes will be helpful for the success and growth of the island. Third is maximizing the use of goods and services such as souvenirs. Since Potipot Island is very much undeveloped, a suggestion to promote local products such as souvenirs should be more applicable for tourists to purchase in order to contribute to the locals in the area. This may then help give more jobs to the locals and help build a community inside the island and overall promote economic growth. For the improvement of socio-cultural, open diversity of ideas from the locals are recommended. This means giving more opportunities to the local residents of the island to showcase their diverse ideas, cultures, and knowledge. This way, cultures as well as the community will benefit from the incomes that will be earned through the hardships of the employees of the island. For the improvement of the environment impact of tourism in Potipot Island, implementation of proper conservation of both public and private areas on the island are recommended. Since Potipot Island is considered one of the Virgin Islands of Zambales, conservation of its natural resources shall be implemented and further maintained to keep its natural beauty. This can be done by regulations revolving around cleanliness and rules to protect the prohibited private natural areas that shall not be explored by visitors. This way, the maintenance and conservation of the natural beauty of the island will be maintained. Second is proper maintenance of the natural infrastructure of the environment on the island. This means the natural infrastructures of the environment on the island should be properly managed to prevent destruction. This can be done by improving the warning signs around the island and by the managers of the places keeping a tight look on visitors who might not adhere to this regulation. In addition, charges or fines should be made as a reminder to keep the environment inside the island safe and clean all at once. Lastly, promotion of environmental awareness. An increase in environmental awareness should always be presented by the managers or placekeepers so that the tourists will be reminded of the things that are allowed and not allowed to be done on the island. This way, we can avoid any disruption or damages that might be inflicted on the natural environment of the place. Solutions to the negative impacts of tourism in Potipot Island. Since Potipot Island charges quite a bit higher than the other islands in the Philippines because it is privately owned, inflation is present in this destination. We can fix this by balancing the cost of the amenities that they offer the visitors with an appropriate pricing range that will be acceptable for the tourist demands. This way, both the destination and the visitors will benefit and not be affected by the overpriced and unacceptable ranges of inflation on the island. With that being said, the owners and managers of the place should know what their amenities are worth before increasing the prices of the said accommodation in order to avoid conflicts and bad reviews from the tourists. Since Potipot Island has started gaining popularity, many people have gone to the location to have a getaway visit or to simply unwind. But due to this, overcrowding and loss of amenities have become a problem for the tourists as well as the destination. A solution to this is to have more workers to be present on the island in order to attend to the amenities and accommodation of all visitors. This way, it can be managed properly and the tourists will not be misguided or left confused since there are not many people around whom they can ask for instructions or rules. In short, overcrowding on Potipot Island can be a quick fix if only the owner of the island could be more accommodating to the demand of manpower and proper management of the island. Next, we have the solution to the water disposal problem in Potipot Island. Since a complainant has said something about the water tasting a bit not okay, we can give this a solution by making sure that the water management and maintenance should always be and frequently checked so that the water disposal problems will be reduced and not be spilled or mixed through the bodies of water in Potipot Island. This way, we can make sure that there is always clean water to drink and clean water to swim. Moving on to the land use problem, a prominent complaint about the Potipot Island is the lack of inadequate water, electricity, and most of the infrastructures being overloaded due to overcrowding. This cannot be helped because the island itself is still being developed. However, we can further improve this situation by giving an alternative solution for this problem. For the lack of water supply, the Potipot Island managers should always have more extra water supply to be duplicated and managed well in case of emergency in order to attend to the many visitors on the island. For electricity, power surges or a simple power plant should be implemented, such as solar panels to use at nighttime, since camping and overnight stays are one of the main attractions of the place. This way, solar panels will be a better alternative and a convenient usage for the environment and also the people in the location. For overloaded infrastructures, the island should build more cottages, restrooms, and comfort rooms to avoid long lines of waiting for other tourists to use. By building and developing more convenient areas altogether, this will further improve the circulation of tourists around the island, leading to a great overall stay of the visitors inside the Potipot Island. The next solution is for the ecological disruption. The first solution to the ecological disruption is that they should always establish a much stricter rules and regulations regarding the ecological environment. This includes proper maintenance of natural resources such as coral reefs, trees, seashells, and many more. This way, the ecological environment will not be disrupted and be maintained for a long period of time. Besides, prohibition of littering inside the Potipot Island should also be strictly followed. Lastly is to provide a promotional yet educational environmental video for the tourists to view. That way, the locals should also be educated about the area's ecological importance to prevent damages in the environment as well as the Potipot Island itself. In conclusion, Potipot Island is a beautiful place that has been impacted by tourism in both positive and negative ways. But just because those two exist almost everywhere doesn't mean that the place itself cannot be improved. Hence, the presentation and preparation of the proper implementation of plans that will conduct a successful management towards the destination is a must for it to thrive significantly over the years. Therefore, placing the economic, socio-cultural, and environmental impacts of this on one's business is essential for developing a resilient tourism industry. That would be all for my presentation. I hope this video has been insightful, and again, this is Aisha Anya R. Ramos from BSTM 104.